Hey everyone, George here, and welcome back to the channel. I'm gradually gaining my voice back. Still a little bit crackly, still a little bit congested. I have no idea what's really going on here, whether I have a cold or I've got strained vocal cords or something of that nature, but certainly there's been something putting a lot of stress on my voice, but I am getting better, and I appreciate everybody sending me well wishes on that. Today we're going to be talking about something that I think is a very important tool, I would say, to help you with aquascaping. There's a couple of books here I want to talk about here and give you some ideas about how you might benefit by using these two books if you are a discus keeper and or if you want to learn a little bit more about the techniques of aquascaping, and we'll get to those and talk about them. The first book that I want to talk about we'll get to in just a second, but if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, I would really appreciate it if you would take a second to do that. What I have found that is about 75% of the people that visit my channel, whether it be the first time they've been here or if they're repeat viewers, they do tend to not subscribe or use the like button. And that is kind of troubling to me, because if you're going to visit my channel, I would love to have you as a subscriber, and I would also like you to use that like button because it does help me to grow the channel, but also gives me some idea as to whether or not the topics that I am talking about are topics that you're interested in, and it goes a long way. So if you have not subscribed already, please do that and give me a like on this one if you would at the end of the video. Or if you're looking at any other videos that I've done, you can always take a minute to hit that like button. They don't make that the easiest. That's something I wish YouTube would make it a little bit more easy, so that anywhere during the process of watching a video you can hit a like at the bottom of it, and you'd be able to do that. And the subscribe button's there, and I know that those of you who subscribe probably find that to be an easy way to get to that. But let's get back to the books that we're talking about here today. And the first one I want to talk about is a book about aquascaping. And this is a fantastic book that you can find on Amazon. It's real easy to find, and I think probably one of the best books that I have ever encountered as far as being very thorough about aquascaping ideas. And of course it's by George Farmer. Now George doesn't pay me anything, nor do I don't even know George, to be honest with you. I've never met George, but I do know that flipping through his book here, reading it from cover to cover and understanding the ideas of aquascaping has been really beneficial to me, to help me with design ideas and to give me ideas for small aquariums, large aquariums, mid-size aquariums, whatever you might be looking for, and following a few rules such as the golden ratio, or looking at aquascaping in a sense of knowing exactly where to place things in your tank to give them a nice flow and that sort of thing. There are rules that really do help you and benefit you by absolutely giving you some starting points and some direction as to where you should go with your aquascape, and how to design your tank properly and to make it look as good as possible. There's also a ton of information in this book about plants, what to use, what not to use, the very fundamentals of using plants in a tank, and getting the correct plants for whatever style tank that you're trying to put together, and understanding them thoroughly. Now, You don't have to be a scientist and understand every single plant that's in this book or every term that's in this book, but it's a great book for getting you started and giving you some idea as to what you're going to be looking for when you're putting an aquascape together. And there's all kinds of ideas in here. It doesn't come down to one aquascape idea. There are so many different ones here, but they all have the same idea in mind, is the flow of the tank and making it look absolutely amazing when you're done with it. So if you haven't already gotten this book, you can find it on Amazon. I'll put a link down below in the description area. But this is a wonderful book, I think, for all of us to have as a tool, and I mean that as a tool to help us to scape a tank and do the kind of job that is going to make you very proud of that tank when you're done. It's not always easy, but there are some great simple ideas about aquascaping in here too that you can do and have that absolutely stunning tank that you've always wanted. Now the second book here is a book that I have found over the last couple of years as I've gotten into discus more and more, which I have, and I think you can see the theme and the pattern on my channel over the last few years changing to discus fish, and that's simply because I gravitated towards those fish as I started keeping fish more. And the particular book I'm talking about here is Discus World, and that is a book by Ingham that this book, to be honest with you, is so thorough on keeping discus fish and understanding not only the fish themselves, but understanding their history, where they came from, everything about them, how to make discus fish keeping simple, and understanding that sometimes we can really go overboard and not be doing a service to our fish by stressing them out and that sort of thing. And there's some great information in here, all the way from raising young fish to older fish, to adults I should say, to how many fish per tank size you should have, and the kind of tank layout that you should have, medications, quarantine, picking and choosing the right kind of discus for your tank. There are so many discus out there today that you can choose from, and it becomes very difficult sometimes to make up your mind as to which fish are going to be best for you. But the idea being that discus are pretty much all the same. I also learned some information in here that I found fascinating. Sometimes I was thinking that my discus might be stunted, but I also found out in the process of reading this book that some hybrid species of discus just don't get as big as others do. And so therefore, when I'm looking at my discus and I'm wondering, are my fish stunted, or are my fish just genetically predisposed to being smaller, I got some really good information that put my mind at ease, and this book really covered all of that. It's a wonderful book. Again, a book that you can get on Amazon really easily. Both of these books are available on Amazon, and I will again leave the link to the Amazon directly, so that you can just click on it and order the book if you feel like you need to. These books are not expensive. Both of them are reasonably priced books, but very helpful. And I think that any of you who are following this channel, in particular if you're interested in discus fish, this book is going to be particularly helpful to you in every aspect. I mean, I haven't even come close to covering what this book does as far as the ideas and the information that is cold, cold stone, absolutely very positive about keeping discus fish and making it easy for you to do that without having to worry about them being so much harder than other fish. They are a little more difficult in the sense that there's a little more work involved, but they are really, really easy fish to keep. And this book gives you an idea on how to do that and be successful at it. And I'll tell you, for as much money as we pay for these fish, it really is nice to have some information out there that you can go directly to. And this book is really, I think, the best book out there on the market for giving you an amazing look into the world of discus fish and to understanding them before you go out and buy them. I really recommend reading this before you ever buy discus and put them in your tank, so that you have a really good idea. There is information in here that if I had read this book earlier in my discus keeping life, I would really have made different decisions and probably had saved myself a ton of money over the years as to how I was raising my discus fish. So again, another great book, and I hope that you will find these both very, very wonderful instruments as to aquascaping and keeping discus fish. Now, I have other books that I'm going to be bringing up over the next few months about tropical fish in general. I have a book about tetras that I'm going to talk about, the importance of community tanks, and what to do and what not to do, what fish to mix with. Discus in particular, they are South American fish, and I truly believe if you can stay with the South American theme and buy fish that are only South American fish that would normally be found with these guys, I think that you're going to be way ahead of the game, because it takes the natural world in which these guys would normally be born into and gives you an opportunity to take a little slice of that and put it in your tank without a lot of problems, because that's where we make a lot of our mistakes. We start mixing Southeast Asian fish or fish from Australia or Africa and other parts of the world, and we try to mix them with discus fish, and it's just an absolute disaster. This book is going to give you a lot of information about which fish are going to be more compatible with your discus fish. I want to thank you for joining me today. As always, I'm trying to get better here. My throat just does not want to come back around, and I'm working with a doctor right now. I thought maybe it was what they call reflux, because I've had a problem with that in the past, but I really don't believe that it is, simply because I am finding that it's not when I've tried fasting, I've tried staying away from certain foods and whatever, and the problem doesn't go away. I did talk to a doctor who said he's seeing more of this, so if any of you out there are suffering with something that appears to be in your head and throat, know that it's probably going to move into your chest. I'm starting to feel that a little bit right now. And with the other health problems that I've had, this has just not been fun. But I, again, want to thank you before the end of this video for all of your prayers and for all of your well wishes about my health. And it means a lot to me. It truly, truly does. I'm having a hard time doing these videos, but I know how important it is, and I'm trying to get them out. So with my efforts being in place there, I hope you will, again, subscribe, like, share, and leave your comments down below. Whatever comments you leave down below there, I guarantee you that I will get back to you within 24 to 48 hours, and sometimes even quicker than that if I'm available. But I do answer everyone. Sometimes it's just answering you with a like and a little heart or something, letting you know that I appreciate you. But if it is a question that is detailed and you need some information on, if I can answer that question, I absolutely will. And if I cannot, I will put you with the people that can answer the question so that you do have some direction in which to go if I am not able to help you. And I will be brutally honest with you about helping you with something that, you know, if I'm not able to do it, I will get you the right person that will, and I will give you that information. Again, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. I hope I didn't ramble on, and I hope these two books, if you do pick them up, are very, very helpful to you. And they're also wonderful tabletop books for like a family room or someplace, or your fish room, to keep in your library. I think keeping a library of books regarding fish keeping is something that is very beneficial, because you can always reference these books if you're having trouble or you are stuck on an idea or a problem. These two books are going to help you in many, many ways. Again, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. Got a lot of great stuff coming up. Until then, thank you for joining me, and we will see you on the next one. We're out of here.